So my name is Jon Bierman, I am 33 years old and I'm known as Dark Arps. The suit started with an artist called Krista Lomax and myself talking about making a suit for Dark Arps. Krista had done visuals for me. She did my visuals at Sequential Circus 7, which was sort of my big break in Vancouver. You know, I knew that she made costumes and she does visual effects and that kind of stuff in TV and film. And we were talking, and I said, hey, it'd be really cool to have a sort of a costume. And we started kind of looking on the internet at sort of images from, say, this video game Deus Ex, you know, futuristic but very sort of stylized, you know, slick pinstripe kind of, I don't know, Blade Runner style fashions. And we just kind of looked around for shit like that. And Krista, you know, sketched some ideas, and I gave her some materials, and I just said, hey, go for it. Effectively, at Halloween in 2011, I met Luke Deathridge, who saw me play a show in this costume, and you know, said, hey, have you ever thought about adding lights to this thing? And I already had thought about it, but I didn't really know how to go about it. Whereas Luke was the perfect person to kind of do this, because he's done it before, very similar things before. He's sort of known for these large format, very big, very sort of daring costumes. So absolutely, it feels different to perform in the suit. It's kind of cumbersome. It's kind of big and bulky. It's pretty sweaty, especially in a packed venue. You know, I get really very hot because, of course, my whole neck and the back of my head is you know, sort of encased in vinyl. So actually, at the Sequential Circus show, I was fucking dripping, just absolutely dripping. And Luke had put not ultraviolet, but he put sort of green paint on my face, which would react to the UV lights here in the collar. And it was literally raining green paint off my face. It's definitely a crowd pleaser. I mean, I remember when I haven't really played with it very much. I've only had 2 gigs in it. Yeah, I've only had 2 gigs in it. But I remember at the Sequential Circus 11 show, I remember I was waiting to go on. I was just stood behind the guy who was just finishing his set, and I just put this thing on. And I could see the front row people kind of looking at me curiously, like, what the fuck? And then when during the changeover, when I sort of stepped up and plugged myself in and just did a quick test to make sure, are the lights working? Yes, quick, literally like a fraction of a second. And they all saw, oh fuck. They're like, oh my god, right, it lights up with the oh shit, and they started applauding before they even started playing. I guess maybe part of me did definitely want to be on stage, but it wasn't. The first thing was, I want to learn music production, I want to be able to make tracks. It's just that the playing live thing just sort of kept happening, actually. It's interesting. What I'd really like is to have another suit which is more wearable, which is more like the clothes I'm currently wearing, but with lights sort of, you know, tastefully and discreetly tucked away in different parts of the costume. So it's not, I'd like you know, this is large format, this is big and you know, big and brash. I'd like something that's the opposite of that, that's quite sort of underplayed and comfortable. Definitely trying to promote the future techno warrior vibe thing with what I'm doing. So it would be, yeah, sort of simple but futuristic looking clothing. For example, clothing with diagonal zippers. That looks kind of futuristic.